Alcácer do Sal, Portugal, February 4th, 2026.
Oh my God!
Still recovering from Storm Kristin, Alcácer do Sal is experiencing the worst floods on record, exceeding what was expected. Storm Leonardo is causing floods and inundations from north to south of the country. Rising Sado River causes flooding in Alcácer do Sal, drags tables and chairs, affects commerce and access in the lower part of the city. The rising Sado River caused a new wave of flooding in Alcácer do Sal, with the water level exceeding 1.20 meters in the lower part of the city and advancing over Avenida dos Aviadores, the riverside road and adjacent streets, dragging objects such as tables and chairs that float in the river and damaging commercial establishments. The river continued to rise over its banks in the early morning and early afternoon, submerging parts of the lowlands and cutting off road access. The water reached Largo Luís de Camões, entering shops, restaurants and cafes on the waterfront, while tables, chests and chairs previously on land were observed sailing in the flow. Several establishments have already reported water infiltration on the lower floors, forcing shopkeepers to move goods and furniture to higher areas. Traffic is restricted on several main roads, with Avenida dos Aviadores and the coastal road remaining flooded and closed to traffic.
E é isto. Não, eu vou lá. É do resto do parque, prima.
Residents of Alcácer do Sal say the water level has risen the highest they have ever witnessed. We've never seen anything like this, and I don't remember the water ever rising this high, they say, expressing concern about the situation and the damage caused. Municipal teams, firefighters, and the GNR, National Republican Guard, are on site removing water, distributing sandbags, and guiding residents to safer areas, while equipment such as motor pumps are attempting to reduce the levels of accumulated water.
Mas isso aqui está ajudando muito.
The situation in Alcácer do Sal, Setúbal district, continues to worsen, with the Sado River rising more and more and 70 people already rescued, a civil protection source told Lusa. The sub-regional commander of emergency and civil protection for the Alentejo littoral, Tiago Bugio, stressed, in an update at 11:15 p.m. on Wednesday, that the situation is increasingly complicated. Tiago Bugio said that the rising water is also affecting Grandola and Ode Mira, Beja.
O rio transbordou, gente. Tanta gente já. Tristeza.
Mainland Portugal recorded 1,790 incidents due to bad weather up to 11 p.m. on Wednesday, mainly affecting the subregions of Greater Lisbon, Setúbal and Oeste, a civil protection source told Lusa. The incidents between midnight and 11 p.m. on Wednesday mainly affected Greater São Paulo, 276, Setúbal, 221, and Oeste, 220. The main incidents were floods, fallen trees and landslides, said a source from the National Emergency and Civil Protection Authority, ANEPC.
Mas o carro anda...
Não, ali já é assim muito, para não sei.
Ai, Pascal, eu nunca diria...
Muita água, Xixica, muita... Sai daí, fodida!
The Portuguese Institute for the Sea and the Atmosphere, IPMA, has updated the weather alerts for mainland Portugal. Starting in the early hours of Thursday, the 5th, the districts of Lisbon, Santarém, Portalegre, Castelo Branco, and Guarda will be under an orange alert, joining Setúbal, Évora, and Beja, which were already in that situation. The alert will be in effect for Lisbon, Évora, Setúbal, Santarém, Beja, and Portalegre until 6 a.m., after which it will change to a yellow alert. The orange alert has also been extended to the entire mainland coast due to the expected strong sea swells. In Ponte do Rol, Torres Vedras, water entered a house and a restaurant, reaching a height of about 50 to 60 centimeters. Residents are gathered at the site trying to stop the river from rising. A building was evacuated after a false ceiling collapsed, exposing a beam at risk of collapse, in Sassoeiros, Carcavelos. The alert, given around 8:30 p.m. by the resident family, mobilized the fire department and members of civil defense. The sub-regional commander of civil protection for the Alentejo littoral region warned that the situation remains critical, with more rainfall expected and dam discharges increasing the flow of the Sado River. A new high tide is expected at the end of the day, which could further aggravate the flooding. The rising Sado River has already caused flooding and preventive evacuations in parts of the municipality of Grandola, with submerged roads and isolated riverside areas, demonstrating that the impact of the phenomenon extends beyond Alcácer do Sal.
Aqui não, Juju.
Passa lá para dentro.
The severe weather of the last 24 hours has left 12 people homeless and forced the evacuation of more than 20 others from their homes as a precaution, the regional commander of emergency and civil protection said on Wednesday. The head of the Western Subcommand of Emergency and Civil Protection, Carlos Silva, told the Lusa news agency that, in the last 24 hours, 12 people were displaced in Arruda dos Vinhos due to damage caused by the bad weather to their homes, and were rehoused in municipal housing or with relatives. the last 24 hours, the bad weather also forced the evacuation of 22 people from their homes due to risk of flooding or landslides. Of these, 12 were in Torres Vedras, due to the risk of flooding caused by the overflowing of the Sazandra River, and were relocated to the Tersifal Pastoral Center or to municipal housing. 6 more people were evacuated from their homes in Aruda dos Vinhos, who were relocated to municipal housing or family homes. In Lourinhã, 3 people were removed from their homes as a precaution due to the risk of landslides. 2 were resettled in a pavilion prepared by civil protection and the other in a family home. In Caldas de Reina, 1 person was removed from their home due to damage caused by bad weather and was relocated to a social institution in Salir do Porto.